What's up, guys? It's your boy MatPack420 here, coming at you with a new one. Oh man, I know it's been a while, but I am back, and I am better than ever. And we're gonna keep growing this channel. We're gonna be here a lot more often. We're gonna be streaming tomorrow night. But I wanted to get back on this, my first video of the year. We're going to start making a lot more content, a lot more consistently, now that my schedule's not all jacked up. Now that I got everything in my life all straightened out, it's been great. So we're back at it. And I know I said I was going to stay away from G4 and Adam Sessler, but damn it, the man he just won't go away. He just won't go away. So now, to be fair, he came out, spilled some beans, and said, verified some things that we, already knew about G4. How it was ill-conceived, it was on shaky ground, and yeah, they attacked their audience. He admitted that. Before all that, before he goes on to Vito's podcast, and I have some words about Vito we'll get into here in a minute, but he has a complete meltdown on Twitter. Yet again, he continues to have these meltdowns on Twitter. Now, he says in the podcast that a lot of his tweets are targeted in a way to, get attention, because he acknowledged that G4, since the conception of it, the relaunch or reboot or whatever, since its conception, it was always on shaky ground, and they were always trying to get attention. And how do you get attention? Well, you took a page out of 2016 and you took out the rage bait portion of that. And what do? You just try and piss off this very same people you're trying to get to watch your content. Okay, see, that didn't work. All right, that doesn't work. It worked for a little bit when Facebook and Twitter and all these other social media companies were like thriving off of the rage bait content, at the height of the Trump era. But people just got tired of being angry, honestly, and instead of falling for the trick and going to read your article and getting all your ad revenue off of it, they just said they weren't going to participate in it. So here we are in 2023, and well, it's 2022 when they relaunched, but it completely failed. Here we are in 2023. We got Adam Sessler coming out. Now the thing is, it's when he comes out on this podcast and he says, I tweet things to get attention, right? And you're still going on saying mean, horrific, terrible things to people on Twitter. Is it all an act? Are you trying to get attention? Are you trying to get a job at some left-wing lunatic site somewhere else? You come out and say you don't like video games, you don't play video games. Well, look, Clownfish made a little article about this. I like Clownfish TV. They're a pretty neat YouTube channel, but they have their own website, and they do stories and stuff, and they have this little article that breaks down this podcast, because I'm not gonna go give these fuckers any revenue or any of my attention, because I don't like Vito. Like I said, he's called for censorship, and I don't play that. But we'll look at what Clownfish TV said here. So let me pull up the article real quick. There we go, right here. So Adam Sessler reveals what took place during the implosion of G4 TV, the infamous Frost rant, his erratic behavior, and his begrudgingly agreement with concerns over gaming journalism. The one thing I don't like is explaining myself. If I screw up, I'll own it. Sure, Mr. Sessler, sure. Adam Sessler may not be a gamer, but he is a person that loves to play video games. Yes, he also said that he hates gamers, and he called band bait. He did the whole shtick of growing up and I'm manlier than you and all this other stupid crap that he does on Twitter. Dude, he's an insufferable human being. He blocked me, so I guess my timeline is less toxic, but that doesn't mean I don't get his stuff on my fucking timeline. All right, he can block me, but I still see his shit, whether I want to or not. Or at least that's how the former nerd famous X-Play host described himself in a personal and revealing interview that took place Thursday night, sharing with many fans and gawkers some of the final clues necessary to understanding last year's pathetic collapse of G4 TV reboot. On the podcast, The Biggest Problem in the Universe, featuring YouTubers Vito, Dick Masters. I don't know who Dick Masterson is, but he's associated with Vito, so again, he's probably a douchebag too. Sessler finally broke his silence to reveal what it was like working at the doomed TV for Gamers reincarnation, and not only delved into the mistakes made at the network, including Frostgurn's rant and the ill-prepared owner Comcast, but also by seemingly agreeing with many of his critics on the errors of gaming journalism. Fair enough, he does go into gaming journalism. I hate gaming journalists. They suck. They're terrible. And he gets into a pretty good, reason on why they suck here. But just because a broken clock is right twice a day does not mean that I'm going to sit here and say, oh, you're a great clock, man. Vito asked Sessler to describe the end of G4 TV. Describing the end of G4 TV as weird, confusing mess, Sessler agreed. A weird, confusing mess is a very good description. Yeah. That's one way to put it. Vito then wonders, as many have speculated, is the reason G4 went down the way it did was that it pushed too much money through and tried to grab the attention too quickly without adequately building an organic audience base? Which Adam also agreed. Yeah, that's I've said that in my previous videos about this. Adam, Sessler, and Frost aren't the main reasons why G4 TV failed. The biggest reason they failed was because Comcast dug up a dead corpse, put a stick up its butt, came out here and said, hey, look at this. You remember this thing? You remember this rotting corpse? You remember this thing? Come watch this thing again. And we live in an age where people on YouTube, TikTok, and other social media platforms do a better job than what G4 did. All right? There are better content creators on YouTube where you can go and get better reviews and better laughs and just better entertainment, let's be honest, on YouTube today for free. Right? The G4 TV Comcast, they had a channel, which was, I didn't make a video on this. It's happened during the holidays, but I just couldn't be bothered to make a video on this. But apparently they were dead last on cable TV. Now we know cable TV's dying, but like, dude, CNN at the airport got more views than G4 TV. Like, are you kidding me? Literally everything on TV did better than the TV channel. They put a lot of money into this thing, and they bought this studio, and they bought all this talent, and they just weren't making the money. They weren't making the ad revenue. They weren't making money on TV, and like, all the TV did was take the stuff they did on YouTube and just edit it all together in one, and then here you go, watch this. It was ill-conceived, and it was really expensive, and it just overall was just a stupid idea to try and cash in on nostalgia. And then it doesn't help when people like Adam Sessler and Frostgurn are insufferable assholes. It doesn't help. See, they were already like slowly bleeding out, but when Frost did her, feminism and gaming rant, or whatever, her females and gaming rant, I did a video on that, whatever. When she did her stupid rant, that was just another nail in the coffin, probably the final nail in the coffin, because it was done. They suffer the same fate that limited runs are going to eventually suffer, unfortunately. So the biggest reason was because it was an expensive project that didn't have a plan. In a day and age where they were just past their prime, it just wasn't going to happen. It didn't matter what you did, it wasn't going to happen. So, but that was the biggest reason. However, Dick asks, you knew she was going to do that ahead of time, right? For Adam, the whole rant. He says no. Dick continues, would you advise her to like go through with it or delay? To which Adam responds, I would never tell someone what to do. Yeah, I don't like that. The only thing I would have probably said is what could happen in terms of the attack. Okay, so like I said, that whole rant right there was not the reason that they got canned. It brought a lot of attention to G4, and not good attention, so it was just another nail in the coffin, to be honest with you. Like I said, this is different from what Frost has said. Frost has said that they knew about this rant. They put it on the prompter. Now, Whether you believe Adam, whether you believe Frost, I don't know. I don't like any of these people, so it's impossible to tell. Truthfully, when you hear two sides of a story that are complete opposites, somewhere in the middle is the truth. So I would think that maybe some people knew and some people didn't know. That's probably all the speculation we could probably get, honestly. Because you got two people saying two different things, but you know, I'm willing to bet, because I mean, she said they put in the prompter. Maybe they did. Maybe she went and said, "Hey, I'm gonna read this. It's gonna be great." And only some people knew, right? Maybe she went upstairs and like maybe the higher ups knew, but like no one on the set knew. I don't know. The rant was ill-conceived too. And you know what? I don't even disagree with some of the stuff she said. It was the way she said it. It was the delivery, and it just basically attacked your audience. I'm like, are you kidding me? Can we please stop pissing on your audience? I grew up playing games for forever. I always wanted the girls to play with me, and now I've got a girlfriend that plays games with me, and it's freaking awesome. It's cool. It's great. You know, I'm probably gonna play games with our children. It's a great way of connecting with friends and family. I love video games. You know, I love them. Right. So it's pretty pathetic when you have a guy who's made a career on, you know, being a gamer and playing video games, coming out and just being a total jackass to gamers online. But it is what it is. It's 2023, so that's what people do. Adam wasn't sure his coworkers, particularly Frost, were comfortable dealing with all the negativity that came their way. For him, however, he felt comfortable facing it. At one point in the interview, Adam shared that his viral negative Twitter presence was a strategy to gin up ratings for G4 based on trying to grab hate views like back in the day. Yeah, it's like, you know, I mean, there was a point where in order to keep ratings going, if I needed to bleed myself a little, okay, yeah, let's do it. And that's why I think people were like, I was so shocked at how shocked people were. I was being blunt on Twitter and saying, you know, I was doing it. I was being paid by G4, so my interest was ratings. So why are you still doing it? All right, like, if you said being a piece of shit on Twitter was to drum up ratings for G4, because that totally works. Yeah, so you're pissing on your audience. You're not getting ratings. Why are you still doing it? But are you bitter that this failed? Oh God, dude. These people are insufferable. Like I said, you can't trust anything these people say. I think, yeah, sure, he's just being a jerk on Twitter just to be a jerk on Twitter, and G4 liked it because they thought, well, maybe we'll get some views, maybe we'll get some hate views. Vito wonders about the adverse reaction from fans. Was the network expecting the response? And Adam Sessler, after some thought, points out that defining what the network was in terms of Comcast or G4 was hard to do. Overall, the network didn't understand who the audience was. They did not seem to be well informed on understanding on what the internet can do, and more importantly, what the gaming audience was like. Yeah, that was a little too much faith in the general humanity that everyone thought it was comically. Vito, overselling? Sessler, yeah. What may surprise readers about the interview isn't the revelation that G4 was woefully unprepared for reviving an old dead favorite, or that, according to him, his negative Twitter started as a rating play. But that Adam Sessler, as much as he hates Gamergate in a roundabout way, agrees with them on gaming journalism. Vito brought up the subject of Gamergate, for which Sessler mocked those that supported it, like he attacked anyone who uses the gamer identifier. That was stupid back then. It's just stupid now. It takes the part that pissed me off the most, and not just the hideous slanderous attacks that had no basis in reality, because they were like one could disprove them without any effort, right? But that they were legitimately publications that decided to take it seriously enough. But he didn't just aim fire at gamers, the identifier, and not the hobby he articulates, but also game journalism for enabling Gamergate and then pretending to be journalists. Anyway, that was my little platform, but no, there was no merit to it. Why the hell people care that much about gaming journalism to the extent that exists? And there are, I would say, there are about 3 or 4 people that practice real honestly good journalists. Yeah. yeah. So anyway, I'll link this in the description if you want to get into this. I'm done. I'm done with Adam Sessler. He is a jerk. He's not a nice person, and I've said it time again. Never meet your heroes, kids. Not that Adam Sessler was a hero of mine, but I mean, I did enjoy him back in the day on G4 TV. But he is a lunatic asshole that. The only reason admittedly himself, the only reason he gets any attention is because he's an asshole online. Great. Congratulations. You know, I'm glad this experiment failed. I'm glad G4 TV died and they can put that corpse back in the ground, and hopefully Adam Sessler goes away and we never hear from him again, and Frost can go away and all these people can just fucking go away and leave us alone. Because man, it's 2023. Like I said, this rage bait shit just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It never will work anymore, you know. And it didn't really work in the first place. It was just companies were pushing it and then the revenue dried up. So whatever, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like what you see, like what you hear, go and like, share, subscribe, follow me on all the social media, all the links in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.